Good day, St. Maarten. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm Alistair Lawrence.
And welcome back to another edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We bring the latest and most important stories around the islands and beyond.
Throwback Thursday. But before we throw back anything, let's just get into these top headlines. Telem wins triple internet awards. Telem has scored a major victory for St. Martin's connectivity, winning 3 prestigious speed test awards from Ookla, the global leader in internet testing. The local telecom provider was recognized for having the island's fastest internet, and best gaming experience during the first half of 2025. Ookla's CEO, Stephen Bai, praised Telem's commitment to delivering industry-leading performance and putting customers first. Telem says the recognition highlights recent investments, including fiber packages with speeds up to 250 megabits per second, upgraded network reliability, and enhanced responsiveness for gamers. Management noted that the achievement reflects the hard work of its local team and proves St. Maarten can deliver world-class results. Looking ahead, Telem plans to roll out 5G services, expand high-speed broadband to underserved areas, and introduce super Wi-Fi to boost in-home coverage. As the island's only locally owned telecom company, Telem says it remains focused on providing affordable, modern, and reliable services to its customers. Minister Brug confronts mounting healthcare crisis. St. Martin's healthcare system is under mounting financial pressure, and Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Richinel Brug, says urgent reforms are needed to secure its future. The Committee for Financial Supervision has warned of a $500 million guilder deficit in healthcare funds between 2010 and 2023, with ongoing annual losses of up to 35 million guilders. These shortfalls are being covered by pension reserves, which could run dry by 2029. At the same time, the St. Maarten Medical Center has absorbed more than 35.8 million guilders in unpaid medical bills over the past 4 years, much of it from uninsured and undocumented patients. In 2024 alone, the hospital carried nearly 9.5 million guilders in losses. Minister Brug stressed that no single fix will solve the crisis. His multi-pronged plan includes finalizing the L tax, requiring stricter employer compliance, controlling overseas referrals, promoting preventative care, and expanding the use of generic medicine and primary clinics. He also pointed to governance improvements, with new appointments to SZV's supervisory board and fresh cost-cutting measures expected in 2026. Calling reform urgent, not optional, Brug warned that multiple initiatives must move forward at once to keep healthcare accessible and sustainable for St. Maarten. Minister Heyliger-Marten says budget too small to support growth. Tourism and Economic Affairs Minister, the Honorable Minister Heyliger-Marten, has raised alarm over St. Martin's limited budget, warning that the country cannot function effectively on its current 513 million guilders. She said St. Maarten needs at least 200 to 250 million more each year to meet basic obligations, pay competitive salaries, and ensure ministries operate properly. Education, justice, and public health currently receive the largest shares, yet the minister noted that their funding is still inadequate. Her own ministry, Teyat, receives just 22 million guilders, with only 4 million available for marketing, despite being central to driving the economy. Heyliger-Marten stressed that the budgetary shortfall is not new and was inherited by the current government. To address it, she called for innovative revenue measures, citing Barbados's tourism accommodation bill as a model to boost tax compliance and ensure fairer competition in tourism. She added that Teyat is actively studying regional best practices, engaging experts, and exploring new strategies to generate meaningful revenue for St. Maarten. Without major financial reforms, she warned, the island risks remaining stuck in a cycle of underperformance. When France signed the Bougainville Accord earlier this year, it promised stability and partnership. But is it really a new dawn or just the old colonial order in disguise? That's the question raised at the United Nations this week. We'll have that story as our feature story when we come back after the breaks.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Maarten, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Maarten. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Maarten by St. Maarten hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
With a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into the forecast and see how the skies are treating us. The Met Department of St. Maarten is keeping a sharp eye on the Atlantic, ready to update you with the latest. So don't forget to follow NEWSDESK on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy your week, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Maarten. The Ministry of VROMI, Department of Infrastructure Management, together with the Police Department KPSM, is making changes to traffic on a section of Canagita Street and Manzanella Steak, Phillipsburg. The Canagita Street from the intersection with Percy LaBega Street to Manzanella Steak will now be a one-way street. Inbound traffic can enter Canagita Street from Percy LaBega Street and drive straight ahead or turn left into Manzanella Steak. Outbound traffic leaving town on Canagita Street must make a right turn onto Manzanella Steak. Entry further into the Canagita Street will no longer be permitted. Outbound traffic exiting Manzanella Steak onto Walter Nisbet Road can either make a right or left-hand turn. The Ministry of VROMI, Department of Infrastructure Management, and the Police Department would like to thank the public for their attention to this change. Please follow the new traffic rules and signage and drive safely.
Strong interest in CARICOM and EU cooperation course. A special academic course on cooperation between the Caribbean community and the European Union drew strong interest in both St. Maarten and Curaçao last week. From September 16th to 19th, the University of Curaçao, in partnership with Europe Direct Curaçao, hosted the program titled CARICOM and Cooperation with the European Union. The sessions covered CARICOM's history, EU external relations, and key agreements such as the European Development Fund and CARIForum Economic Partnership Agreement. Lectures were delivered by leading academics, including Professor Dr. Flora Goudapel, Dr. Jacinta Asarfi, Naresh Algo, and Dr. Jermaine Request. In St. Maarten, all 25 seats were filled, while in Curaçao, demand was so high that registration had to be closed after 125 sign-ups. University of Curaçao announced plans to expand the initiative with a master-level course, providing even deeper study on CARICOM EU cooperation. St. Maarten's history came alive this week as the Heritage Monument Walk, St. Maarten's Little Explorers, officially kicked off. Group 4 students of Sister Borgia Elementary School. Guided by cultural enthusiasts, teacher Rudolph Davis and teacher Larry Hall, the children explored historic sites along Front Street, including the Guavaberry Emporium, Pastor Grand, the Catholic Church, and the courthouse. The program blends fun with education, aiming to build cultural pride among the island's youth. Students receive Explorer passports, gift bags, and ended the day with traditional guava tarts and homemade ice pops. Project manager Jillian Maria said the initiative was inspired by her own children's curiosity about local history, stressing the importance of passing on cultural identity to the next generation. The walk was supported by the Cultuurfonds Caribisch Gebied and several local businesses, with the Red Cross ensuring safety during the day. Organizers hope the Monument Walk will continue inspiring young people to embrace and preserve St. Maarten's rich heritage. Pink Sunset Sale expands for 10th anniversary. Record demand has led organizers of the Pink Sunset Sale to add a 4th boat for this year's 10th anniversary celebration. Hosted by Aquamania Adventurers, the October 4th event raises funds for the Positive and Electrolytes Foundation, supporting breast cancer awareness and education. Traditionally sailing with 3 catamarans, this year's milestone edition will see the addition of a Golden Eagle vessel, marking the first time 4 boats will set out together. The day begins at Simpson Bay Resort with a festive pink mixer, complete with entertainment, face painting, and refreshments. Before boarding at 5 p.m., participants will enjoy a Caribbean sunset sail with music, local bites, and a raffle featuring more than 150 prizes donated by businesses across the island. Organizer Michelle Korteweg said the overwhelming response reflects the community's deep commitment to the cause, calling it a milestone moment for the event. Tickets are $50 per person, with proceeds funding early detection campaigns and mammograms for uninsured women. The Pink Sunset Sale has grown into one of St. Maarten's most beloved traditions during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. From the Caribbean to the Pacific, overseas peoples are asking, are promises of shared futures genuine or simply cover for continued control? We'll tell you how St. Maarten's Voice joined that global call at the United Nations. Coming right up.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere.
Money low, but I never fair. I know Telem is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
What is it?
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though. Good day on Thursday, September 25th. Today, St. Martin's struggle for true self-determination was heard at the United Nations in New York. Dr. Rhoda Arundel, speaking on behalf of the local advocacy group One St. Martin, better known as ONESXM, addressed the Baku Initiative's group's high-level conference with a pointed message. Colonialism is far from over, and agreements like the recent Bougainville Accord may only extend the reach of France and the Netherlands over St. Martin. Dr. Arundel began her remarks by expressing gratitude for the platform, but she quickly drew attention to a troubling contradiction. While the UN has pledged to end colonialism in all its forms and manifestations, both France and the Netherlands continue to enforce legal, political, and economic structures that keep St. Martin's people in a dependent state. She questioned whether the Bougainville Accord, which France presents as a framework for a shared future with colonized peoples, is anything more than a new tool of control. She noted that the Dutch have similarly justified their continued presence in St. Martin, and that while France and the Netherlands freely collaborate as sovereign nations, the people of St. Martin, who share a common culture and history, are pressured to remain divided. Dr. Arundel described this as a twisted form of Stockholm Syndrome, imposed upon Caribbean populations. The speech also highlighted deep structural imbalances, unequal political power, restricted economic opportunity, and elected leaders hesitant to challenge colonial oversight. These conditions, she argued, undermine democracy and prevent the island from fully exercising its right to self-determination. Reparations were another central theme. Dr. Arundel reminded the UN that both France and the Netherlands built wealth from slavery and the trafficking of Africans and continue to benefit from colonial-era policies. She stressed that justice is not just historical, but a present-day necessity. One SXM urged the UN to assist in drafting and monitoring free and fair referendums on independence and to revise the list of non-self-governing territories to reflect the island's reality. She warned that without these steps, colonialism will continue under new names, and the people of St. Maarten will remain involuntarily implicated in global conflicts and actions taken by their administering powers. In her words, failure to render this justice is anti-humanity, as a signal that the humanity of colonized peoples is less value than their colonizers. Closing her address, Dr. Arundel made it clear that agreements like the Bougainville Accord cannot be mistaken for genuine decolonization. Instead, they reinforce colonial structures, military presence, and economic control. True peace, she concluded, will remain elusive until the notion of European supremacy is dismantled. For St. Maarten, the question now is urgent. Will the island's future be shaped by continued oversight from Paris and The Hague, or by the will of its own people? That's a question Dr. Arundel and One St. Maarten pressed directly to the United Nations today.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across all social media platforms. My name is Austin Lawrence.
And mine is Jasenia Lassiter. Wish you an amazing, amazing evening. See you next time.
Stay friendly, St. Maarten.